on those platforms. It was painful to watch. However, Taraji and I had a conversation over a decade ago.
Yes.
In my trailer when I was doing the Monique show. And she said, you know, you got to keep on getting it until your turn comes. And I said, Taraji, most of us die before our turn comes. We got to ask for it right now. Now, I understand that because there was a time I felt the same way.
Exactly.
Because that's what I was told.
Right.
You just keep going and we'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. We'll get them the next time. And the next time never comes. And then you see our sister broken, sitting on those platforms. Now, when I said it,
why did they get the traction when you said it? That when she said it, now all of a sudden everybody's coming, and I don't have a problem. I'm glad.
Yes.
But if you said this a decade ago, and I remember you saying it over a decade ago, why didn't it get the traction? Why didn't it get the support? Why wasn't it propped up when Monique said it?
I think there's a few reasons why. Number one, it was the messenger. I should just be grateful I got invited to the party. You a big, fat, black woman. How dare you be the one? And then on top of that, you're saying names. You're saying Oprah's name out loud. You're saying Tyler's name out loud. You're saying Lee's name out loud. You're saying Lionsgate out loud. That's not what we do. We say they. We say the people. We say the studio. We say the producers. How dare you actually say our heroes' names?
You're being sick.
These are our heroes. How could you say their names out loud? Because they're the ones that did it. And if I don't say it out loud, now you see a woman that is swallowing that pain, that is so stressed out. Then you see our sister Taraji B. Henson sit on that platform. And I love that baby because she's a beautiful spirit. But to see her that broken, what our community was saying was, we have a hard time, some of us, we have a hard time seeing a strong black woman with a back straight and a chin up and a strong black man standing by her side. We have a hard time accepting that. But we can accept seeing a black woman broken. Now it's really serious because she's falling apart. Our community had a hard time with those two things. And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a black man would stand with his black woman. So when you hear black women saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited, we get all of that. Then you see a black man standing with his black woman saying, not on my watch. And you hear some black men saying, why her husband gotta be there? We're in a sad state of affairs when we begin to question black love and black unity. So they didn't want to hear me, some of them, because of what I look like, because I spoke about their heroes, and because they saw that man standing right there strong.
Did they question the validity? Because we've never seen this before. Not so public, not so present.
Yes.
Did they question you and his relationship?
Yeah, my husband?
Yes.
When you say question,
what is like? Because, okay, did they think that was your husband, or what was he, your manager? Because he's been everything. He's your lover, he's your manager,
name
he's
him.
your
Name him.
He's the father.
Come on, name him.
Whatever, he's all encompassing.
Yes.
He's a toolbox with all the tools that Monique needs.
All of them.
And so when I heard people saying that, why is he there? Why does he have to be in every interview? Why does he have to be in the background? Why can't Monique do that? Why not?
Why not? Why not? And that's when you see, and these are my sisters, but when you see Taraji, when you see Viola, when you see our sisters speaking out, you never see that representation sitting right there with them. You never see them saying, listen, we got to fight together.
Right.
My husband is also my manager, which is my representation.
Right.
But again, we've been so beat down that some of us have a problem with this black man saying, I'm standing right here strong and I will not flinch and I will not budge. What a sad state of affairs we are now in, where you have people that look like you and I that would question say, we've been run amok, we've been hoodwinked, we're now doing it to ourselves. We're now doing it to ourselves. So when you said, Monique, it was different because we had never seen that before. You said their names. Let me say this, I'm not the first one.
Right.
I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this is the first one, this is the first one. Her name is Claudette Colvin. And she's not the first one, but she was before Rosa Parks. But because Claudette Colvin did not fit the picture that they thought she should look like, she was dark-skinned and she had coarse hair. And because the organization, I believe it was the NAACP, did not think she would be accepted by the white people, they had to get somebody that they said the white people could accept. We keep repeating the same thing because what I said is no different than what anyone else is saying. Not at all. It was the messenger. And it was the way that I'm not putting my head down. I'm not shedding one tear. I'm not going to say, I don't want to say their name because I might get in trouble. I'm going to say all of it. Because when you really think about that little girl coming behind me, what I don't ever want that baby to see is me broken. I don't want her to see me falling apart. And I understand it. I understand how it can happen, Shannon, when you may not have a foundation at home, when you may not have that man at home or that woman at home, whomever, that support person saying you're not crazy. I got you. Come on. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. So, for us, if we start taking things for what they are and get out of our emotions, we will be so far along.
Do you believe punishment? Punishment is not only meant for the perpetrator.
We have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started, okay? It's family. My husband is my family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cassie and the group, he forgot to put DL Hughley in the group. Through the years, I was bitter, I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality, my husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'ma see you. I'ma see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see you. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'ma see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. D.L. Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
It's on the contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you signed, the memo is saying this is what I would like, but the contract is saying this is what it is, okay?
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community, and that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get, okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headline.
Right. You mean you go last?
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I had to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you. And I said some things on that stage that I said he was cowardly.
Me and Bob met about 20 years ago here at Firestone.
I've learned over my life to find.
And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? Then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? Then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. See, you came after my husband. And when you had a chance to fix it, when you had a chance to say, Mo, my bad, you know we don't get down like that.
Right.
You told me it is what it is. And until he's brave enough and courageous enough to say, this is what really happened, y'all. Y'all have never known me to be no shit starter. Folks ain't never known me to go over and kick a sandwich out of somebody's hand that's hungry. But what people do know is, if you kick me, damn if I ain't gonna kick you back.
Right.
Because that's fair play.
Right.
So there was one left out the pack. And when you have people that continually don't take accountability, that's why you see us in the state of affairs we're in.
I'm a firm believer, Mo, that everybody don't play the same. And someone once told me, what is joke to you is death to someone else.
What is joke? That's why we don't play with people's families.
No.
When we had the Monique show, the radio show, listen, you can't come on here and speak ill of no one because we don't play like that, because we know how this business works.
Right.
So when you allow that to happen, what do you think is going to come back your way? What do you think? And D.L. Hughley, please, no, brother, we still love you. Just take accountability for it, and we move forward.
I remember reading something about the situation in Detroit. I didn't know the depth of the magnitude of it. I remember reading something about a memo about, I guess it's an addendum that was added on, but the contract is the contract.
The contract is the contract, and what happens is because of the messenger, it was easy to pile on. It was easy to pile on, and then when you have some of our black folk that go sit in front of a white man and speak ill of their people, I'm like, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we coming to that we're gonna sit in front of this white man? I can't even say his name. I refuse. Everybody know who he is. We sit in front of him and we just let this man say any and everything about us, and then we go right in with him. That to me is dangerous. And y'all babies that's good with this little computer, don't take my word. You can just go through the years of this cat just running his mouth. And it's like, stop doing that, because what are we saying to the babies coming behind us?
We're going to continue this, but I want to get into where you're from, the DMV.
Yeah.
Do you realize, like, Chappelle, Martin, Tommy Davis, Earthquake, yourself, what's in the soil in the DMV that got you guys? I mean, you've done television, stand-up, all these guys have done television and stand-up and are great at it. When you look at, like, Chappelle walked away from it and said, nah, I want to do my own thing because I'm not going to let you guys hold me hostage.
Yes.
But Martin still does television. Tommy Davis doesn't do as much television. Quake is not in television, but he has, has all his gigs going on. When you look at the success that Chappelle, Martin, Earthquake is having, and you say, hold on, ain't none of them guys win no Oscar. Ain't none of them guys did what I did and on the movie set. And they're having the commercial set that they're having. That should be more.
If I was a white woman, do you know what my name would be?
Welcome.
Melissa McCarthy. If I was a white woman, my name would be Melissa McCarthy. Same track record. 5-year sitcom and syndication. Same track record. The opportunities are not the same. So when you had, and as you read all of those things, you say, wait a minute, Mo, none of them have this, none of them have that. We get judged by a different stick. We get judged by a different stick. And then when I had people judging me, I'm like, you judging me by your yardstick. You've not done what I've done. And I say that humbly. You've not had the accomplishments that I had. When I hear Brother D, he just say, well, that Netflix special, I just accepted anything. Whatever they gave me, these are not my words, they're his.
Right.
Well, that's how you do business. I'm not mad at you accepting anything.
Right.
Why are you mad at me saying I won't accept anything?
Right.
That's the difference. It's like people were judging me. I was hearing people chanting, okay? I didn't know we had so many tender people in our group.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had so many tender. I didn't know we had so many tender people, and I wouldn't want to be on the front line with these tender people. Where it's like, oh, I can't believe you said that again. But it's what I said, the truth. It's what I said, the truth. No, I didn't put no sugar on it. It was shit.
Right.
And I didn't try to make it taste good. We gotta stop running away from what is real and we learn to fantasy. And that's how come we keep staying where we sit.
Mo, before you became Monique that everybody has seen. Right.
Imagine your child going to school without a decent pair of shoes and socks.
You said that when you were at your lowest, he lifted you to your highest.
You better know your homework, baby. I'm proud of you. We got toast on that one. You better know your damn homework. I said that when I was at my lowest, he loved me like I was at my best. And I was mentally ill because you're in this business. Everybody thinks you are the hero. Consideration can be thrown out the window. Patience can be thrown out the window. Because when you get home, you believe that I'm the breadwinner. And what I say is what goes. And this is what it is. And then, this is my third marriage, though my first. Because this is the first time I've known my place as a black man's wife. And there's a place. And we get so caught up in that word. What you mean, your place? What you mean? Without him saying it, his actions showed me that he was the leader of that household. Without him saying it, I knew I was dealing with a king.
And he doesn't have to constantly remind you of it. He's never.
When we first got together, I said at the head of the table, comfortably. There was never a conversation about it. Till one day I knew I was in the wrong place. And I moved to the side of the table. And he said at the head, we never had a conversation about it. It just happened because it was supposed to. So when people question my husband, why is he there? You would hope you would have one like that. I remember our beautiful sister Tiffany Haddish did an interview with GQ magazine, and this, in my humble opinion, is where we keep throwing each other under the bus. You're doing an interview with GQ magazine, and I'm assuming the journalist was a white person, and the conversation turned to Monique. And she said, well, I don't do business like Monique do business, and I'm glad I don't have that husband of hers.
But she don't know your husband.
And when I saw that, it's like, Tiffany, if you had a husband like mine, you may not have 2 DUIs. If you had a husband like mine, you may not be caught up in what looks like you could have been dreaming a child. And I say all of that with no judgment. But when you speak about having a husband like mine, you open up the door. And I'm saying to you, if you had one like mine, you may not sit in these positions that you can't explain the next day, or it's a hard way to go. So once again,
Well, she doesn't even have a husband, let alone like yours.
Well, okay, now you said it. I sipped on that chair. That was a sip. That required a sip.
You, Moesha, how did that come about?
Moesha?
Yeah. You have an audition for Moesha, right?
No, sir. Hold on. No, sir.
You didn't get on Moesha?
I did. I say this not to be, but I never auditioned.
What?
I've never auditioned. They've called, I think I thought I was auditioning for a Burger King commercial, but what it really was the agency I was with at the time, just trying to blow smoke.
Right.
You know, making me think I'm doing something.
Right.
But to audition, when I first came to Hollywood, I told this guy named, I believe his name is Mark Unray, and I told AJ Johnson, and I told a sister named Kimberly Brooks. I said, I'm not auditioning. And they was like, okay, like your fat ass. You not auditioning? Okay, fat ass, we'll see. That's what they did. They laughed. But I meant that. I'm like, what you see is what you get. I am not going to, especially now. Especially now, why ever would I audition when I've got the highest award that you can get in this business called acting? And why would I do that?
Right.
Because once I do that, I devalue me. If you can't look at my work and say, that's what we want, then no thank you.
Right.
Like they'll call, they'll send emails and they'll say, what's Monique availability? None of your business. I don't know you. So you just gonna send an email and wanna know what's my availability. I'm offer only. I am offer only. So again, we gotta be careful what we say yes to. What Sidney Poitier said, it's not how many times you say yes. It's how many times you say no. And the moment our baby auditioned, they got set up for no trailers, they got set up for no food, they got set up for no drivers, because now in their mind, they think we're desperate.
Right.
So when Oprah does the one-on-one with Taraji and she begins to run down her credits, the great Taraji P. Henson, then why ever would you allow the audition to happen? Why ever would you allow that? Why wouldn't you go to that studio and say,
She didn't have to.
she doesn't have to, I handpicked them. So either our sister's not as powerful as we believe she is, or either there's not the concern that she tries to make it look like it is.
But you turned a couple of appearances on Moesha into the Parker.
This is how the Parkers happen. Normally you shoot a pilot,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And the pilot, they decide whether or not they're going to do the show from the pilot, right?
Yes.
Okay. Countess Vaughn and I, when I go to a meeting with a guy named Larry Little at Big Ticket Television, and at the time my agent was a woman named Susie Unger, they're trying to sell a talk show.
Yes.
We have a meeting, he says, listen, I don't need her to do a talk show, but if she can act, she has her own show. My agent said, of course she can act. Well, she didn't know if I could act or not, but I said, damn it, of course I can act. They brought Countess Vaughn into that meeting. That was at 1 o'clock. By that evening, they were negotiating the deal for the Parkers. The way they introduced the character, because they always talked about Kim's mother on Moesha, they introduced Nikki Parker in an episode of Moesha, which was the pilot spin-off to the Parkers. There was never an audition. There was never any event.
So now all of a sudden you got your own sitcom.
Shut up. Come on now.
You go home and you like, from Baltimore, Maryland, from what I went through to this.
Yes.
Are you looking around like, damn it, I knew this day would happen.
Yes. 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 And you know how you know something as a child? Like, did you know you were going to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew it, Shane. I knew it. Like, I knew as a child, and I say this, I knew the world would know my name. Like, I knew that. So, once you in it, you were just like, I still can be in a supermarket and somebody say, Monique, is that you? And I still can tear up because I'm like, I'm here. I remember when I got my first parking lot at the Parkers. I didn't know I had a parking space. And they would send out emails to say, if you're here for the Parkers, park outside the gate. That's how naive I was. When you asked me, was I naive? So I would park outside the gate. Even though I'm one of the stars of a show, baby, they said if you with the Parker, because there's no 101. There's no Hollywood 101. There's no introduction. They just say go and you're supposed to get it. So I would walk across the parking lot all the way over to the set, to the stage, till a brother named William Tripp was in a golf cart one day. He said, Mo, what you doing? I said, going to the set. He said, why are you walking across the parking lot? I said, oh, because they said if you with the Parkers, you gotta park outside the gate. That brother laughed, but it was a brotherly laugh. He said, come here, baby, let me show you something. And I got on that golf cart, and he drove me to my parking space that had my name on it. That was a moment for me. Like I'm pulling up to a studio, and that's my name. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who was in the slow step place. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who didn't have a lot of friends. A lot of people didn't want to deal with me. But that's my name on that parking space. Now do you see why I fight like I fight? Because it's all possible. But what happens is we then lose ourselves in the possibility of what we're getting. And now we're too afraid to lose it. So all the principles, all the morals, all your values, they don't go away. You just push them to the side. Because you know what it's like not to have gas money. So I'll just, I just go ahead and do that a little bit. My soul won't let me do that.
Why did you national press what she wasn't contractually obligated to do?
Never.
Prior to that, nobody said anything.
Never. The only person that can say anything that is a producer is a guy named Will Packer. I did a movie called Almost Christmas. When Will Packer sat down with my husband and I, Shannon, every other word out his mouth was queen. You are queen, and the queen, and the queen, and the queen. And we just want you to do a cameo. And here's what we're going to pay you. My husband said, Will, that does not cover Monique doing promotions. That covers none of that, brother. It's just for the cameo, okay?
Yeah.
The director was David Talbot. My husband and David Talbot were college roommates. They were across the hall from me. In the script, I was that quick, because it's a cameo.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So 99% of the things you heard Aunt May say, it was Monique, it was me ad-libbing.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's a cameo.
Right.
When we had a meeting with Will Packer says, if you do this for me, I'll give you a 3-picture deal and a sitcom. Now we have all of this in writing. It's all in writing.
What would you need to do? A press? You're gonna need to do press for it? You're gonna need to promote it? Or just do the cameo?
Just do the cameo. That is what was agreed upon. We were going to do a cameo for the amount of money that he said they were going to pay. No problem. Well, what they did was they kept spreading it out. They kept spreading this character out. We want you in this scene, and that scene, and this scene.
But that ain't no cameo. Cameo is okay.
Okay? David Talbot is our friend. We don't want to make this bad for David Talbot, so we said, okay, no problem. Now let's talk about the treatment. While we're on that set of Almost Christmas, there were a few things that was happening that I took issue with. Will Packer is a producer. He came on that set and tried to give us a direction while the director was standing right there. I said, Will Packer, I will not allow you to do that. You would never do that to Steven Spielberg. You would never do that to a white director. You as a producer going to just walk in and give a direction, so I will not take direction from you. If you have something you want to give to me, you give it to the director. And you have the director to give it to me. You are disrespectful to him. Now, I had a meeting in David Talbot's trailer with Will Packer, David Talbot, and the first AD because they were being disrespectful to this black man, and I was not going to allow that to happen. I had a conversation with the first AD, and I pulled him outside. I said, listen, brother, when it's your turn, I won't let nobody do it to you. But what I'm not going to do is stand by and watch you give a direction after the director gives a direction. It confuses the cast, and it's disrespectful. And to that black man's credit, his eyes filled up with water, and he said, I appreciate you for having this conversation with me, okay? So, Will Packer and I are now at odds because I'm seeing how this brother's acting. I'm in my trailer. My assistant at the time, her name was Robin, right? Robin is in her 50s. She's in my trailer with her shoes off. She's on the computer. Will Packer's friend, or I'm not sure what title to give her, okay? She comes into the trailer. Now, in this trailer, it is me, my hairstylist, makeup artist, and my assistant. This young lady, who we're all old enough to be her mother, she comes and looks at my assistant and said, what's your shoes going on?
You in your trailer, why do you care?
I said, excuse me, you're out of order. You can come in here questioning nobody in my trailer. As a matter of fact, and her energy was not that I'm playing, it was, I said, as a matter of fact, I need you to go get real. Because I'm not even going to have this conversation with you. I'm going to talk to your boss. When Will Packer comes into that trailer for us to talk, do you know what that man says to me and my hairstylist and my makeup artist and my assistant? I am the head nigga in charge. Everything starts with me. I said, well, I want to let you know this, Will. You're going to hear that you're the head nigga in charge from me as many times as I can tell people that's what you said. I said, and furthermore, you need to check your assistant. Because this is my space. We weren't in your trailer without shoes off. We're in my space without shoes off.
But why would we come to you with that type of energy? What led up to say that when all you asked his assistant to do was to go get him because she's questioning why people in your trailer have the truth?
That's a good one, because what I said to him was, who do we need to talk to? This young lady can't be up in here like that. And that's when he became the head nigga in charge. And then I said, who are you the head nigga in charge of? We have Danny Glover on this set. We have a legend and an icon. Are you the head nigga in charge of him? Are you the head nigga in charge of Kimberly Elise? Are you the head nigga in charge of Gabrielle Union? Are you the head nigga in charge of J.B. Smooth? Who are you the head nigga in charge of? So he tried to laugh it and joke it. I said, I don't play that way, brother. I said, the food is bad. Like, what we doing here? The food was slop. So when they say they didn't have any food, the food we had, nobody ever ate that food because it was just like you can feed them anything. Now here's where it gets even better. Remember how Taraji said the trailers were infested?
Yes.
Our trailers blew up. They blew up. Now, whenever this airs, I'm gonna post the trailers blowing up so that people can see.
Right.
But they blew up. And if any of us were in those trailers, we would have been gone. The trailers blew up. Now, when I was smelling the gas, we went to the brothers that was hooking up the trailers, and we said, hey, we smell gas. They said, no, we let him know, talking about the head nigga in charge, we let him know. He just said, okay, and walked away. I said, he what? He just said, okay, and walked away. The trailers blew up. Did Wolfpacker reach out to anybody? I can't say he didn't reach out to me and say, hey, is everything okay? Did you lose anything? Is everything good? The only thing they wanted to know from me was, where was Aunt May's wigs? Where are those wigs? Nobody asked me, not the studio, not Wolfpacker, not nobody.
Wow.
Said, are you good? Did you lose anything? I said the wigs blew up in the explosion.
Right.
So to understand what we have to deal with, and to understand most people are too afraid to say it out loud, that we are being mistreated. This is not right.
Right.
So if that means y'all don't want to play with me, I don't want to play with you either. Let's be clear. I don't want to play with somebody that don't care if I've grown up. What if we were in those trailers? What do y'all say to my family? What do you say? So with Precious, I owed no one anything.
Right.
With Almost Christmas, I owed you nothing. However, I did it because we had a relationship with a brother named David Talbert. And we didn't want to send him do no drama, no nothing, so we went along with it. Other than that, Shannon Sharp, there is no one that can say, that will sit in my face or my husband's face and say, we had a bad experience with you.
I read that you said this is a chapter of forgiveness. That's your thing, a chapter of forgiveness.
I didn't say that. That's what the guy Hollywood Reporter said. Okay, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. That's what his ass said.
What did you say?
Okay. That's what he said. Listen.
What would it take, Mo? Mo, what would it take for Monique to forgive Oprah and Tyler Perry?
Be accountable. Be accountable. And for
You want Tyler Perry to say what he said on that tape, you want him to say that publicly.
And he cost my family millions.
And you want to be compensated.
Yes, I want to be very clear about that. If someone cost you millions, do you want that back?
Absolutely.
So I'm no different than you.
Right.
Especially when I've done nothing wrong.
Right.
Especially when you've admitted that you've lied.
Okay.
Especially when you've admitted that you started a rumor. Yes, you need to compensate me and my family.
For Oprah.
For Oprah Winfrey, you owe me an apology. See, Shannon, Oprah and I had a private conversation about our mothers.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part people don't know.
Right.
I shared with that woman what me and my mother were going through. Now, my mother's no longer here, right?
Right.
And I shared with Oprah Winfrey what we were going through and how I felt. And I was, you trying to balance it out because it's your mother. And I shared that with you. And I shared with her my family and what the dynamic was. And you don't tell me you're going to have my goddamn parents. I was getting ready to say goddamn. Maybe it was right there. But you don't tell me you're going to have my mother and my father on your show. And you think that that's just okay? And the way you try to apologize in front of a group of women, if you think I've done anything wrong,
No.
you're going to stop that.
Right.
I am very proud of what you've accomplished in your life. We respect everybody, but we over-respect no one. And Oprah Winfrey walks around like, I can't be checked. I won't admit to that I'm wrong.
I'm a firm believer, Mo. No one is beyond.
No one at all. So when you keep saying, what is it? I'm going to keep answering you the same exact way. So if you talk to your camera, I'm going to talk to my camera and see how they split the screen. And we're going to invite them at the same time. You talk to them first.
Tyler, Oprah, I would greatly appreciate it if you two guys would come on Club Shay Shay. We sit down, we have a conversation. This is not an interview. This is not hard-hitting. I want you to tell your truth. Miss Oprah, Tyler, tell your truth, and we can get to the bottom of this because, hey, we got an icon here sitting on this couch, and she's hurting.
Oprah and Tyler, I want to say I appreciate my brother Shannon Sharp for saying what he just said, and I want to clear something up. I'm not hurt personally. I'm hurt for our community. I'm hurt that y'all would allow yourselves to sit in something that you know that you've done wrong and not say anything. That helps us not. So Brother Shay Shay have said, y'all come on the sofa. Oprah, this liquor is good. Okay, and I understand you like cranberry and vodka. Okay, Roosevelt Cartwright told me you drink that you like. And you know, he told me some other things with the drink that you like. Come on, Uncle Shay Shay. Let's have a conversation. Well, you took yours all the way down, and I cannot. Okay, I cannot do that. Thank you, sugar. Now, when we get ready to wrap up, I'm going to give you an exclusive on something that don't nobody know. Okay? Don't nobody know this, and it's going to be something.
It's going to be something.
It's going to be something.
I want to get, look, I know it's traumatic, and if you don't want to have to relive it, you don't have to. What you went through with your brother.
Yes.
When you're going through that, how is that impacting you during that time? Because I think you're 7 to 13.
You better do your damn homework, Shannon Shaw.
And the impact that it's had on you and your relationship with me.
Oh. Shannon trying to be a journalist.
No.
Shannon, I throw this look at you. God damn it, you see you trying to come up, brother. Get off my brother. What impact? Wow. Remember when you said, and I don't know if you said this, so I don't want to quote it because I could be wrong.
Okay.
But someone said Shannon Sharp don't mess with black women. And
Before you go any further, can I say this?
please.
My grandma told me something about a little boy. She said, boy, never chase a lie.
Come on. And you never said that, right?
I never said
Okay, so that's why I said,
I got black kids.
that's what I said. I said that baby's black.
Yes.
They not confusing. We ain't trying to see if she Latin or Dominican, they black. They mama got black. Everybody that Shannon mess with was black, right?
Yeah.
Black. Okay? So there's this thing with us that you can't tell us nothing. And oftentimes when a black woman's been traumatized, she's guarded. Now you take a black woman that's been traumatized and now she got a little bit of money. And you take black men, some of them, that is impressed with the money. So I can say to you what I want to. Not being totally disrespectful, but, you know, we're running this. You know how we do this. I've always had an aggressive personality.
Yes.
I have always jumped with, if I think you're trying to violate. So to say, what did that do to me? It made me like this. And it made me say, I'll get you before you can get me. Because I know what it's like to not be in control of what you're taking from me. I know what it's like to be in a position where there's nothing I can do, right? So when it came to men, baby, listen, I had my share. Okay? I'm not saying I was no whore. But I was close. Hey, come on now, Shannon, get back to me. Now get back to me. Call me later. Call me later, Shannon. Call me later, baby. Come on. Because you were a football player with a lot of money. When you go into a city and you was in your prime, you had your pick. It's no different for a woman. When I went to a city, everybody wanted to be Professor Ogilvy. Hey, and I would pick them.
I remember you said it was.
Well, let me say this.
First.
It wasn't never a problem with me being a fat black woman, because real black men, they like them in all shapes and sizes, all complexion. It is these new Negroes that get into she gotta be this way, she gotta be that way. But real black men, if you can bake a pound cake naked, what y'all talking about? What you talking about? But what it did though was, and this is why I feel the way I feel about my husband.
Okay.
I remember him saying to me one night, because when we first got together, I was a handful, Shane. And that's when I was really sick in the way that I thought. And he said, check this out. You've used your brother molesting you as a crutch for your bad behavior. Oh. He said, and I won't allow that. He said, when you was a little girl, there was nothing you can do about it. But now as a grown woman, every choice and decision you make, it is yours. And I will not allow you to keep on saying, because of my brother, because at what point do you take accountability for you? Baby, they grew me up in that night, that grew my ass up that night so fast, because I wanted to hear what my psychiatrist was saying to me. I understand. My husband was like, check this out. Check this out. You are in control of you. Every choice and decision you make, every one you lay down with, that was your choice. You've never come back to me and said you were raped. As a grown woman, you've never said that. So stop holding on to that crutch. Stop holding on to that victim. Because this happened to me, I'm mad for days, and I come up out of it. And when I went to the psychiatrist, right, everything my husband said to me, the psychiatrist said to me. But he said, I needed you to go to somebody who had no dog in the fight, because I didn't want you to think I was judging you. I didn't want you to think that because I know the history, I'm pointing my finger. So when I would go to that psychiatrist, Dr. Cassandra Wanzo, she's incredible. Y'all want to know about red bottom shoes? Let me tell you somebody that's going to get your mind right. Dr. Cassandra Wanzo, this woman was incredible. But every time I would go to session, everything she said, my husband had already told me. So me and men, I had to come to grips with that. I had to come to grips with being an insecure fat girl. And I had to come to grips with my sister telling me, ain't no man gonna ever really want you because you're fat. I had to come to grips with my father was like, listen, I'm here, but I'm really not. I had to come to grips with those things. So my way of coming to grips with those things was, now I'm a boss. I'm independent and I'm empowered. Don't you know I run this? See, I too went to the Open Winfrey University of Empowerment. And you don't need a man to make it. I signed up. And I was at the top of the class till I realized I was going to be empty. I was going to be with nothing but stuff. I did not want to be the poor little rich girl who have everything but nothing at all. Don't that sound familiar? I did not want to be that, Shannon. So even for the men that I was with, right?
You weren't with them.
I wasn't?
No.
Okay, talk to me, Shannon. Let that nigga use you. I wasn't with them.
That was just a body for the moment.
You get your old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. So when they want you to go for the fourth round, you looking at her like, bitch. One day, I'm sure you growing up, you had your challenges.
Yeah.
You were a dark-skinned man. Yeah. There was a time you stuttered.
Yeah, I wasn't always popping more now that you brought it up.
Let's talk about it, Shay.
It was the elder bar. You remember that?
Talk about it. Your hair wasn't curly. Your skin was black.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Yeah, now that you brought it up, I wasn't always popping.
What that is. So
Yeah.
now to be that. Now to be that.
Yeah.
Now you got to be careful. Because you remember the time when she told you, no, I don't want to go out on a date with old Black Shannon.
Yeah, you know.
Let me talk to her right now. Let me talk to your ass that wouldn't go out with Black Shannon. Now you wish you would have went out with Black Shannon that stuttered. Okay, you wish you would have went out with Black stuttering Shannon Sharp's ass. Now look at him. He got the Shay Shay show. I let her ass up tough. I've been there. I've been there. So we understand it. You know, you understand that drive. You understand that thing in you that says, I won't let nobody stop me. Now, my drive wasn't that I wanted to get my family out of poverty, because I've always grown up in a middle-class environment. So it wasn't that we were dirt poor. You know, we didn't have no whole lot, but I didn't look at it as we were in poverty.
Right.
For me, I just wanted to, I wanted the world to know me. And then once I had a son, right? I was very young when I had my first son. I didn't want him to have to go to a college because that was all that my parents could afford. I wanted him to be able to do whatever he wanted to do, and there was a sacrifice in that, right? Because when you're trying to go get it, you're missing this right here.
Oh, you miss a lot.
The nurturing,
Yes.
you miss
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
So, all of that had to
Right.
be dealt with. So now with this group, with my second set of children, we had to warm up food on a damn iron with a towel. She said, bitch, I've been to prison. We don't have no microwave. We're going to eat these buffalo wings. Flip that iron over and wrap that Reynolds wrap up and cover it with that towel. Baby, them buffalo wings were so damn good. But did we get treated fairly? Hell to the no. No, we did not. There were times on that Queens of Comedy tour that I had to, even on that tour, I had to say some things because it wasn't fair. And the way we were being treated, it was not fair. There were times when money wasn't right. And I remember the first date for the Queens of Comedy. And I got a call from my agent. And she says to me, no more C&D promoters. You're in the big leagues now. Walter Latham wants you to be a part of the Queens of Comedy. Okay. Thank you. No problem.
Because he's the executive producer of the Kings of Comedy, correct?
Right. This going to be a blast.
Yeah.
The first check I got. Let me sit before I tell you.
Yeah, I might meditate your sip too.
My banker called me up and said, Monique, this check is no good. I said, excuse me?
The money jump funny?
Sip again. God damn it.
I might need a little something strong. Hold on.
Damn it, Shannon. The money's no good. I said, what you say? She said, Monique, this check is no good. So I immediately got on the phone with my agent. And I said, let me tell you something about C&D promoters. My money always good. Now I need you to get Walter Latham on the phone. Walter Latham, from here on out, I will only accept cash from you moving forward. You have 2 hours to get the money into my account. If not, take me off the Queens of Comedy tour.
He make it right?
He made it right. You saw me on the tour, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then one night, this is why people could say that's a problem. If I tell you I'm going to pay you $50,000.25, what are you expecting?
$50,025.
So one night they tried to give me what was not all of it. I need all of it. I don't care if it's a little bit. It's mine.
Right.
Until you get it, my throat hurts. So they had to go. I get sick on them, Shannon.
Oh, you.
I feel look.
Oh, the weather.
Well, I performed that night because they had to go get my money.
Right.
Then they started selling shows off. So what that means is now you got different promoters coming in. We're women. We are women, okay? Samore had an assistant and I had an assistant. And both of our assistants were not the kind of men that was gonna fight,
Right.
okay? They might scratch you, but they weren't gonna ball their fists up and do no guffing,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So we're in a position now where we're trying to defend ourselves because now you walking up, I'm a promoter. Take pictures with my family, and we had no idea this was happening.
Right.
One night, we were on the Kings and Queens, right? And oh, how Bernie Mac is missed. Oh, how he's missed. Because he was a real one, right? All the Kings of Comedy had limos. Separate. Steve had one, Bernie had one, Cedric had one, D.L. had one, all of them. Then another limousine pull up and they say, this is for the Queens of Comedy. I said, I will not. I will not. You better pull up 4 separate limousines. You're going to treat us the same way you treated them. We helped sell out 44,000 people. That wasn't just the kings, it was the kings and the queens. So you would treat us accordingly.
Right.
All the kings got Rolex watches when it was over.
What y'all do?
I'm still waiting. So when people say, why won't y'all do the Queens again? It was a moment in time. And it was a beautiful moment in time. And some things should be left with it.
Wow. This is what I want to get to.
I want you to get to it.
A lot of this happened with the movie Precious. That's the movie that made Monique a star amongst them. She shined the brightest because you played that role. Nobody else could have did that role justice, Mo.
Thank you, baby.
Nobody. You played it, and I remember walking out the movie, and I called my sister. I said, she gonna win the Academy Award for that role. I said, it's almost like she was born to play that role. Now correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Okay, you shoot a movie.
Yes.
The movie wrap. You might have to come back and do some voiceover, some touch-up work here and there.
Yes.
That's already scripted into the contract. Now, the promotion aspect of the contract. What were you contracted to do? Because that seems to be where the conflict seems to come in.
Yes.
Because you like, okay, so tell the people that's going to watch this and listen to this, what was Monique contractually obligated to do as far as the promotional aspect of Precious?
I was contractually obligated to promote the movie Precious under Lee Daniels Productions.
Okay.
I promoted Precious under Lee Daniels Productions. I did Oprah, I did magazines, I did TV shows, I did all the promotions I was contractually obligated to do.
Okay.
That was it.
That was it.
I'm done with it.
Done.
Okay?
Done.
Now Precious is going to Cannes, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I had the Monique Show.
Mm-hmm.
I am on the Spread the Love tour. I have toddler babies, and I'm also a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The Monique Show is like down for maybe a couple days, a week or so. I got some days off on the tour. I'm gonna relax with my family.
Right.
Because once they sold the movie,
Right.
you didn't sell me.
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg. See, Whoopi Goldberg said I could have schooled you and told you what was expected when I didn't promote and go overseas. And you know how you just looked up and looked away?
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg, what you were saying to me, I could have schooled you and told you, you go in that house and let them have their way with you.
Right.
And I'll be here when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
So after I'm done with my promotions, Lionsgate reaches out to my husband. Initially, they think they're talking to my attorney, right? And they say, we want Monique to come to Cannes. She promoted so well in the United States, we want her to go international and promote the movie and do Cannes.
Okay.
I told my husband, please let them know I respectfully decline. I appreciate it, but I respectfully decline. I'm gonna spend some time at home. Lionsgate calls back. We really would like for Monique to come to Cannes and promote this movie. Please let them know I respectfully decline. I'm gonna spend time with my family. Lionsgate calls back and says, what is it going to take for us to get Monique to come to Cannes? We'll give her another week in France. We'll upgrade her room. My husband said, is there a dollar amount attached to what you're asking for? Oh, we will never pay anyone to promote a film, never. He said, we understand, and we're never going to work for free. You're asking her to do something that she's not obligated to do.
Correct.
Well, what? Is this the attorney? He said, actually, I'm her manager and her husband. Now we can put it on the husband's being difficult.
Right.
Right? Okay? So I don't owe anybody anything. That's why I was never sued. Now we go to the Hoodie Awards. Tyler Perry is there. Okay? Tyler Perry calls me in his room. Now, when I go into Tyler Perry's room, his staff is in there. Now, you ready to holler laughing?
Yes.
Okay, I take my security in there with me because I always want to have somebody with me. Right? Tyler Perry does this. And the people scattered. They all left out the room. I said, look at this shit right here. You saw me. And they all scattered.
That wasn't the light, that's for the people. You know, lights on?
Lights off because they got their asses up out of here. Okay.
Okay.
So at the time, my security looked at me. I said, you don't work for Tyler Perry. You good?
Touche.
So Tyler Perry says to me, listen, Monique, we really need you to, promote this film, because if you get nominated for the Oscar, your next movie is going to be $3 to $5 million. If you win it, your next movie is $6 to $8 million. I said, Tyler Perry, who you talking to? I'm a black woman. When they gonna pay that kind of money? No, I'm telling you, that's what it is. And you just go and promote it. I said, listen, brother, you can pay me to promote it, because at the time, now him and Oprah producers on the film.
Right.
I said, you can pay me to do it. I don't care where the check come from, but y'all just gotta pay me to do it. He said, I'm not in the habit of giving out money for free. I said, and I'm not in the habit of working for free. But you gave T.D. Jakes a check for $1 million, but that's another story, and I'm back. So when he then says that, it's like, listen, we both mutually agree. You don't give out free money, I don't work for free. We hugged, Shannon. When we were done talking, we hugged. Do you hear me?
Yes.
We hugged like brother and sister, like it's cool, he understands.
Right.
Okay? Oprah Winfrey calls my husband. I want y'all to take your time, because I'm getting ready to go in.
Yeah, that's your camera, right?
Yeah, because the people at home, they sitting there like, Monique, what happened? Bitch, I'm getting ready to tell you. She calls my husband.
Okay.
My husband explains to her what's going on. She says, there have been times I've had to draw the line in the sand. So my husband said, well, what is different between you and Monique? You've got to draw the line, and you're saying when you know they're asking you for too much. She said, you're absolutely right, and I understand your position. You're right in the position you're taking. So when you're looking at me saying, well, what happened? I'm telling you what happened.
But, okay, she's saying that privately, but did she voice that publicly?
Did you hear her say it?
I did.
Did you hear her say it? JT, did you hear her say it?
No.
Zach, did you hear her say it, Zach? Regina, did you hear her? Tommy? No one seemed to hear that publicly. She said that privately. Now, when she said that, see, everything we're saying to you, it can be proven. She had him on speakerphone. And that when she was talking to him, in that room was a man named Reggie Wells, who just passed, who used to be Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist, who he had a conversation with me and my husband. Now, for you babies that's good with the little internet, we had a showroom called Monique and Sydney Find a Way to Be Unoffended. Finding a way to be unoffended. Reggie Wells was on that show speaking about Oprah Winfrey. Reggie Wells said, Monique, I was there that day. He said, when y'all got off the phone, I looked at her and said, why don't you just pay this woman the money? She deserves it. And she looked at him and said, I won't be paying her nothing. And he said, that's not right. And you know it's not right. Now, that man shared that on that show. So I'm not saying nothing hasn't been shared. So you have people that will say things in private, but won't do it publicly. I'm the person that I will say it in private, and I'm going to say it publicly, because that's the only way we make it right.
But you don't need somebody to talk good to your face. You need somebody to talk good behind your back. So if you telling me what a great person I am in my face, but you telling me I'm dog poop behind my back, what good is that, Mom?
What does that make those kind of people, Shannon? What does it make those kind of
cowardly.
people? That is cowardly. See, here's what's this. When we have our juggernauts, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, these are our juggernauts of our community. These are the people that our babies say, when I grow up, I want to be that. I want to be like that. So we have to call those people to the mat and say, listen, what are you teaching our babies? You're feeding poison because you're showing them your private jet. I'm going to show you my mansion. I'm going to show you my fancy cars. But my character is shot and I'm bankrupt. I got a lot of money in my bank. It's more zeros than some of them things that we can imagine. But their character, they are bankrupt. Those are bankrupt people. So everybody that Kat sat right here and told you about, I can't wait to see your next interviews with those people.
They're coming on now, Mo.
Invite them.
I have.
They're not going to do it.
Well, look, I've already done Steve. I have a relationship with Steve.
Do him again. Do him again. And I'm going to say this.
I'm trying to get Oprah in there.
Baby, we got him. Y'all come on, stop playing.
They ain't coming on with thanks to you.
You know how. And I don't want to put you on a spot, but I'm going to say it because I appreciate you as a black man and what you're doing. If you are my friend, and someone says to me, Monique, Shannon Sharp wronged me, and you my friend, I'm going to call my friend, and I'm going to say, hey, is what they saying true? And if you get to hemming and hawing, I'm going to tell you, till you fix it, you and I can't talk. Because if you'll do them that way, it'll be a matter of time before you do it to me. So if Steve Harvey is your friend, you call your friend up and you ask him, is what our sister saying right, man? Because if it is, we can't do that to her. If that's our sister. See, it took a transgender named T.S. Madison. It was a guy named Jamaica Carter. Jamaica Carter and our friends. T.S. Madison was a mutual friend. So Jamaica called me and said, would you mind doing T.S. Madison's show? I go do T.S. Madison's show. When I tell T.S. Madison when the camera cuts, I said, listen, your friend is wrong. She said, Monique Lee Daniels is my friend. I said, then you need to call your friend and tell him to fix this shit. She said, I will. Within a couple of days, who did I get a call from? Lee Daniels. See, that's a friend. That's a true friend that's saying, I love you so much that I want to make sure that's not on your heart or your conscience. Let's fix it. Let's make it right. So when people ask Lee now, when we did the deliverance together, how was it to work with Monique? It was as if we had never parted ways because he fixed it. He owned it and he took accountability for it. I can't now keep you to the cross because you owned it.
Right.
I've had to be forgiven.
Right.
So I appreciate that someone had grace and mercy with me. So I'm going to have that with other people when they take accountability for what they've done.
How much did you make for the role, Mary Impression?
I was paid $50,000.
That's it.
That's it, and I never complained because that's what I signed up for. It was an independent film, right? So when my friend called me, this is an award-winning.
Yes.
This is award-winning. So with all of that being said, I never complained about the $50,000. I did everything I was supposed to do. No, nothing. It is when they started asking me to become a slave. It is when Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey started asking me to work for free. It is when they started doing the bidding for whomever the gatekeeper was at the time to say, we can get it. Remember the scene in Sparkle? You ever seen Sparkle with Irene Cara?
Yeah.
And Philip Michael Thomas. Remember when they was in the car because the Jew man was trying to get him to sign over that contract? And he kept shaking his head like, you will not get me to turn my back on this woman.
Right.
That's what this is. We ain't turning our back. My husband ain't turning his back. He ain't signing up for something he know ain't right. And people have a problem with that. And we gotta keep speaking on it, Shannon, because the next one's coming for real. I would hate for you to have to sit another sister in this chair and she tell you the same story.
So, considering you won the Oscar, normally when you win the Oscar, not saying you're gonna win another or get Oscar-worthy scripts, but there's normally a run where you win, 2-3 films. Now, Monique, that 50,000 is 500 or $1 million or 2 million. You feel that you were blackballed from that point, and Monique did not make the money what she should have been compensated for future roles.
Let's tie it all back in. Okay? You have a man that says, I lied on you.
Yes.
I put a rumor out there on you.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to apologize. But then you have another man that comes back when I'm off Empire and says, Mo, they said you're difficult to work with, you're going to be a problem. Where would they get that from?
Well, somebody that's as powerful as Tyler.
Okay? So now I'm scratched from that.
Yeah.
Right? Now when it comes to movies, I'm a difficult person to work with. Anybody ever had a problem with me?
They never said, did anybody say that prior to pressure?
Yes. No, not prior pressures.
Right.
I've never had a problem with nobody. As long as I was saying, yes, you good. The moment you start challenging, we got a problem.
What about the Parker? What about Moesha? Had anybody said anything prior about Monique's character prior to her not wanting to do international press, what she wasn't contractually obligated to do?
Never.
Prior to that, nobody said anything.
Never. The only person that can say anything that is a producer is a guy named Will Packer. I did a movie called Almost Christmas. When Will Packer sat down with my husband and I